Hello and welcome to IH Talks. Today we're talking about why our questions should be SHITE with Lucie Cotterill. The general subject of this talk is the role of the DOS in developing teachers.
Hello, I'm Lucy from IH British School Reggio Calabria.
So Lucy, tell us why our questions should be SHITE.
Well, I think the days are gone when teachers and managers and trainers needed to have all the right answers. I think now we need to be focusing on asking the right questions in helping our teachers to develop.
So how did you come to be interested in that topic?
Well, it was quite a long story, actually. So there were different reasons. The first reason, I think, it was during the pandemic. So everybody was thrown into this situation where nobody had the answers, nobody knew what to do, and everybody was asking questions. And I think I realized how important asking the right questions was for learning and helping everybody develop. So I think that was the first reason. And then the second reason was that, I think now as we've kind of moved into the Google age, and we've got all this information at our fingertips. We don't need to know all these answers, but we do need to question the answers that we find. So even things like ChatGPT, which has become so popular now, it can give us all these answers, but we need to be questioning those answers to be sure that we're getting the best information possible. And I think, talking of AI as well, I think when about 3 years ago, I decided to do a talk for IH actually, and it was a topic that I was really interested in, or a topic actually that I was interested in it, but I didn't know anything about it, but I had a lot of questions about it. So I decided to do his talk based around these questions that I had, and the learning that came from it, because people were then asking more questions, it was creating discussion. And it just seemed like it was questions are a really good springboard for learning. So that's why I think I chose to focus on questions specifically. I don't know if that's answered the question.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Could you tell us what SHITE stands for?
Yeah. So basically, I was thinking about what made a good question, and I mean, in reality, there are really no good questions or bad questions. There are just questions that are either fit for the purpose or not. But I think that asking the right questions at the right time as well can do 5 things. And as I was kind of looking at these 5 things, I noticed an acronym appear, which was the SHIT. So I think they can solve problems. I think asking questions can help us to solve any kind of problem that we might be having in our schools. They can help people learn as well. We know how much, if you ask, the more questions you ask, the more you can learn. They can also, the I was for inspire innovation, because like a lot of innovation really starts from a question. The T was for, I'm trying to remember, team build. So I think that it's a great, asking a question or throwing a question to a group of teachers is a great way of helping to kind of build the team. To give you a kind of different example, if you throw out a question on social media asking, oh, help, I don't know how to do this, for example, you'll get lots and lots of learning coming just from the comments in the discussion. And I think that's kind of good if you can do that in teachers' room as well, or maybe even throwing out a question that gets people discussing their beliefs about teaching and stuff like that. So I think they're really good for team building. And the E as well, which is for engaging people. So questions also, while you're trying to train people, can be much more engaging than just sort of giving them information which they have to process passively, if you like. So yeah, that was kind of the acronym and where that came from.
Excellent. So if I can summarize questions, the value of the questions and when they are asked, is that, well, there are quite a few elements to it, and they can lead to many different outcomes, mainly a lot of learning if it's the right question, and possibly curiosity as well.
Yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned that, Estelle. Thank you. I had forgotten it. But yeah, curiosity is really important. And I think that's got to be our main aim when we're asking questions, is to really be curious. So sometimes we might ask a question, for example, if we've just observed a teacher, we might say to them, well, how did the lead-in stage go? And we already know our answer to that question. We already know if it went well or badly. So asking a question like that isn't really coming from a place of curiosity, and it puts the teacher in a situation where they might feel like they're being tested. So they're thinking to themselves, what do they expect me to answer? What should I do? So yeah, I think rewording it so that you don't know the answer. So for example, if I ask the teacher, well, how did you decide on that as the lead-in stage? What was your thinking when you came to that? They're going to be able to tell their story. I don't know the answer. So it's a much more of a genuine question. Or, how did you feel about the lead-in stage even? It is something that I don't know. I don't know how they felt about it. So it's much more genuine, I think. So yeah, curiosity is definitely a key element there.
Thank you so much, Lucie. And that concludes the talk for today.
Thanks, Estelle.
Bye.
Bye-bye.